The NFL Divisional Round is here, and it's probably the best four slate of games that you're going to see all year. You definitely cannot miss it. Let's get right into my picks. Last week in Super Wildcard Weekend, I went 5-1. The only pick that I got wrong was the Cowboys. I thought they would win, but they lost. But anyway, let's jump right into the Bengals. This game is going to be today at 3:30 on CBS Central Time at Tennessee, as the Titans are the number one seed, fully rested at 12-5. They're going to be taking on the visiting Bengals, who got a huge win, first playoff win in 31 years last week against Las Vegas Raiders at 11-7. I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch. It's definitely something that you don't want to miss for sure. But really, the main story that's been in this game is the return of Derrick Henry. Henry will be returning for the Titans today, but with metal plates in both his feet and shoe. No snap count for Derrick Henry, which is good news. So the rest of the Titans are now fully healthy and ready to go to make a deep playoff run this year in the playoffs as the number one seed. A.J. Brown, he's going to have to be big against this Bengals secondary. To me, that really isn't necessarily the strongest, but their safeties are really good, like Jesse Bates and Von Bell, but I think their corners are extremely weak, and I think A.J. Brown's big physicality can really play a factor into that. You saw what Zay Jones was able to do last week, so I think A.J. might be able to do something like that. And really, the whole Tennessee Titans offense is going to have to step up. Guys like Ryan Tannehill, he absolutely cannot turn the ball over. That's something that you cannot do against the Bengals, because they'll take advantage of that. And to me, I think it's going to be an offensive showdown. The Bengals, they're going to have to put up some fireworks with the 3 J's, I like to call them: Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Joe Mixon. And then also Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. So it's really the 3 J's and the 2 T's, honestly. But either way, the Bengals team is loaded offensively, and I just don't know if the Titans secondary can really stop them. The only strong player they really have is Kevin Byard, so I'm not really sure how the Titans will be able to stop the Bengals. I think the Bengals in this game will have an incredible offensive game, specifically in the first half, and I'm going with the Bengals to pull off the upset, 29-23. I predicted the Bengals to reach the AFC Championship before the playoffs started, like right before it, so I'm sticking with that. Bengals win by 6. The big loss for Cincinnati, though, is that D-line. Larry Ogunjobi was really big on that defensive line and trying to stop Derrick Henry, but you still have Sam Hubbard, and DJ Reader is going to play a big part in this, and Trey Hendrickson is going to be back for the Cincinnati Bengals this week. I think the Bengals offense have an incredible first half to blow this game wide open and force the Titans to pass more. I think that has to be the game plan regardless, because they can't guard Boyd, Higgins, Chase, Uzama, Mixon. They can't guard all those guys. I mean, the Bengals have such a great passing game. I think they might use Mixon a little bit in the passing game, and I think the Titans secondary is taken advantage of. And everybody's talking about Derrick Henry's back. He's back. He has fresh legs. But they're acting like he's just going to be right back where he was, a couple of weeks into the season. I just don't know if it's going to be like that. I mean, you have to see if the conditioning is up to level. I don't know if Derrick Henry can just go into an NFL Divisional Round game and immediately start being King Henry. I think it might take some time. So I don't really know if it's going to be just right away Derrick Henry is going to crush it for 70 yards. I just don't know. So I think the Bengals get out to a lead and don't look back, and the Titans make it close at the end, even though it was never really that close. And now the Saturday tonight game in Green Bay, the number one seeded Green Bay Packers at 13-4 in Lambeau Field, 10:15 on Fox Central Time, take on the visiting San Francisco 49ers, who upset arguably the Dallas Cowboys last week and are now going to be facing the Packers. And the 49ers, they always somehow beat the Packers in the playoffs. I don't know why, whether it was with Colin Kaepernick or 2 years ago, whether he Mostert running all over them for 200 yards. But this time, it's in Green Bay. It's going to be in the cold. The 49ers coming in from California. Really, the 49ers really only won last week because the Cowboys just played so bad. The Packers aren't going to be making those stupid mistakes, and they should win. I think the Packers win 27-20. I think the 49ers make it closer than the actual result. I think the Packers, they really focus in on the 49ers run game, because that's really something that could kill them in this game. You're getting Whitney Merciless back of IR. You have Kenny Clark up the nose tackle. You have Zadarius Smith, who's coming back, plus Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary. That front seven of the Green Bay Packers is really very strong. And and they're going to be getting Jair Alexander back as well. So they should definitely be able to lock down Deebo Samuel, even in the running game as well. And they have a really good secondary with Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. It's just really all around pretty good defense. And good thing for the 49ers too that their injuries aren't going to be playing a factor. Nick Bosa is going to be playing. Fred Warner is going to be back. So that defense can definitely get some pressure on Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't see any way they can guard Devontae Adams. I just don't see that happening at all. And Aaron Rodgers knows what to do. He's going to get rid of the ball quick and fast. His playmakers also has Alan Lazard. And I think the Jimmy G injury might play a factor in this game, because I think the Packers will definitely get some pressure. They may force a turnover like the Cowboys did last week. But honestly, I'm not going to be surprised if the 49ers win using their formula of pounding it and, just running the football, being physical. Who knows if they are able to pull off the upset. But right now, I'm going with the Packers. And then the game of the week, arguably, is the Bills versus Chiefs. And I'm going with the Chiefs 38-20. I think the Chiefs win an offensive shootout. This is Sunday, 5:30 evening time on CBS in Kansas City. I talked about this game. I previewed it with NFL Network reporter James Palmer. So if you want to see my thoughts on this game, definitely go check out my interview with him. He reports on the Chiefs. He's going to be on game day morning and all. So you should definitely check out that interview for more on this matchup. And now, for Sunday, 2 o'clock on NBC Central Time, the afternoon game tomorrow in Tampa Bay is another really amazing, really interesting game. The Rams beating up the Cardinals. They traveled to Tampa Bay 13-4 to take on the Buccaneers at 14-4, who beat up the Eagles. This game is just really, really hard to decide. Taking a look at the two quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, he's been pretty good. He was really good last week. He's thrown a lot of interceptions this year. And then Tom Brady's been, playing at MVP low. So I really think Stafford can really take advantage of a weak Buccaneers secondary. I think he can use the quick passing game, get extra protection maybe from the tight ends or extra offensive linemen, and get it out to Odell Beckham Jr., to Cooper Kupp, to Van Jefferson, those playmakers that you have, who I don't think the Buccaneers may guard well. But really the problem is for the Rams that Andrew Whitworth, he's not going to be playing their star left tackle. I think they're going to have to use quick passes against that Buccaneers defensive line, because Stafford flat out just going to have to deliver. He can't turn the ball over. He'll need to be willing to take a hit so he can get it out to his playmakers. And then Tom Brady, he's going against the Rams without their two starting safeties. Taylor Rapp is one of them. So Tom, one of the great things he's done in his 22-year career is take advantage of defenses and take advantage of their mistakes or their injuries or whatever. So he's going to have to do that again this week. And really both QBs are not going to have fully healthy offensive lines this week. So, Ryan Jensen, Tristan Wirfs are not going to be fully healthy, whether they'll be playing or not. So I still think guys like Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd could really get to Tom Brady, make him frustrated. And then this defense, I think the defenses may really decide this game, who's going to really frustrate the quarterbacks, get more stops in this game. And Jalen Ramsey, I think he can definitely guard Mike Evans. He can lock him down. So then let's say Mike Evans gets removed from the game, then you're without Chris Godwin and no Antonio Brown. I think it might be hard for Tom Brady to find any receivers. I think they're going to have to use probably some 3 tight end packages with Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Braid, and O.J. Howard to find anything. They're going to have to be big against the linebackers of the Rams. And I think the game plan for the Rams simply should be just do tight one-on-one man coverage against these Buccaneers players. And that way they can beat Brady. If you play zone against Tom, he's a coach out there on the field. He'll know what to do. So you got to do some one-on-one man coverage right up against these Buccaneers guys. So Tom Brady can't really find any openings and you can frustrate him that way. And then Stafford, he's going to have to somehow find his way, just throw it against Shaq Barrett, JPP, and Ndamukong Suh, who are going to be coming after him like crazy. So we'll see how that Rams offensive line can hold up. I'm not sure if they can. Stafford is just going to have to take a hit and make a throw. And their run defense is back for the Buccaneers, so I'm not really sure if they can have the same game plan against the Cardinals, like run the ball with your guys, Shoney Michel and Cam Akers. But I'm still going with the Rams. I think they're going to upset 26-24. I think they have a really balanced showing in this game. both teams have their advantages. Rams are without their safeties and Andrew Whitworth. Buccaneers have a, relatively injured offensive line, and the Rams, I think, are really favored in the secondary, even without the two safeties. I think Stafford is going to look really good in that first half. I think you'll see some bursts of a good running game with Akers and Michelle. And I think that defense just flat out makes Tom Brady frustrated. I think the Buccaneers make a fierce comeback in the end, but they still come up short. I think the Rams get a huge win. So I think it's going to be Rams at Packers for the NFC Championship, and then Bengals at Chiefs for the AFC Championship game. So if you guys enjoyed, please go down and hit the like, subscribe, enable notifications, comment who you think is going to win between the Bills and the Chiefs, and I'll see you in the next video.